Okay, so we're just going to jump right in so we can make this short and sweet. Class today was awesome. These kids are so great. This is why I like teaching orchestra. I keep saying teaching orchestra is the best because the kids are the best. So I'm really excited about it. Just a little bit about me. I've been playing violin since I was 9, and I have actually had my degree in string education, secondary string education, my bachelor's degree from BYU, Idaho. I've been teaching privately, and for 25 years, I've been running this program. I'm the program director for this, and also the conductor for the Morgan Valley Chamber Orchestra program. I've been doing that for like 8 years. And I have my private studio that I teach. And then I also play with the semi-professional group, the Chamber Orchestra Ogden. And I also do a few things here and there with weddings and stuff like that. I have 5 kids. My oldest just went off to college 2 weeks ago. So trying to get used to that. And my youngest is in, what grade is she in? 3rd grade now. And I've got 2 kids that are in the middle school, two boys. So I'm kind of in the thick of it. So when we talk about things like practicing motivation and schedules and trying to run kids all around, I really, really get it. So yeah, so the MVSP, the Morgan Valley Strings Program, is a branch of the Morgan Valley Chamber Orchestra, the nonprofit that's been running for like 12 years in the community. We have an awesome program for adult beginners. I always have to put the plug in. We have a great community orchestra professional group. We are doing the Messiah this year. So again, so it's an awesome group. Our goal with the program is to continue to do the after school program, but also to work towards the goal of getting it into the actual everyday school as a class like band or choir, because then the kids can play every day, but still have the opportunity to play in the after school group as well. And especially as they get into high school and can join our community group. We do have a high school class this year that's being taught by Rudy Cordero, which is awesome. My daughter, my high schooler, is in it and she loves it. So if your kids are enjoying the program, but it's hard to get them here and there and everywhere, we really encourage everyone to reach out to the principals and let them know that you would really like to have it as a program, especially as the school district continues to grow. We want to continue that. Let's see. Oh, the orchestra does have the website. Hopefully everybody knows about the website, morganorchestra.org. We also have a YouTube channel. Since COVID, like everybody else, we had to do a lot of our concerts online. So we've started now we're in the habit of recording them. So we post them on there. You can go see the 2019 Messiah. You can see our concerts we've done. Yeah, we've got all those things going. Okay, now to jump into our specific class. So class time is 3:45 to 4:45. I'm so sorry about some of the confusion on when class was. That was totally my fault. I put the wrong time on that flyer. And I thought I got it corrected, but I didn't. So I apologize if some of you came at the wrong time. We do follow the Morgan School District calendar. If the kids do not go to school that day, whether it's one of the asynchronous days or not, then we don't have class. If they have an early out day, we do have class, and we'll have it just right after, we'll do it like, so this class would be just 1 hour after school gets out. So, and that's just the middle schools. High school is a whole, don't worry about the high school schedules because sometimes they're different, but we do follow that. If you do homeschool, you can go onto the Morgan District website, Morgan School District website, and find that calendar. I'll try to remember to send out reminders, and Carolyn Wixom is our secretary, and she can jump in there and help with that as well. But it is good to have it, more layers to know. The kids can come in and out of that main office. You don't need to come in now that your kids kind of know where to go. You don't need to come all the way in and out with them. If they know where to go, you can just drop them off and then wait out there. Today, we ended a little bit late because some of the kids were getting really talking, and I didn't want to break that up. They were introducing each other and talking about their pets and things like that. So, but we will try to end class. Like I'll stop teaching at 4:40 so that we have 5 minutes to get everything cleaned up and kind of get them out there, but it'll probably be at 4:48 when they actually get out. At that time, no one is in the office anymore. So, and I'm in there for only a few minutes, but I do have to come home and get stuff. So I do ask that you be there, to pick up your kids. My phone number is on I texted out my phone number. You can text me on that. I do have it muted while I'm teaching, but I will see it I do keep it on the stand, like to help me keep track of time and things. So, or if one of my kids texts me or something, because some of them are coming and going during that time. So if you need to get a hold of me during class, you can do that. I know a lot of the Morgan people were talking today about starting a carpool, which is awesome. So if you need to coordinate that in the group me, you can. That's fine, as long as it's just like a, hey, I'm picking up today, or you know, who else wants to carpool? Let's see, the Crescendo B kids, the ones who are the second year kids who have it right after school, they are leaving at 3:40. So there is going to be that crossover between the two classes. And so when the kids come in to the band room, they'll go to the back of the room and get their stuff out. Sometimes they do leave stuff. Most of the time I'm the last one out the door. I mean, I'm always the last one out the door, so I usually catch it. However, if they do happen to leave something, excuse me, you can contact the Morgans, you know, the Mountain Green middle school office the next morning or something, but I can't get you back into the school to get something that evening if they happen to leave stuff, because I don't have a key. And so, yeah, and we're just guests in the school. So let's see. Okay. So what they need to bring, every class, the kids need to bring their instrument. But however, if they forget their instrument, if you get from Morgan halfway there and all of a sudden you realize that they left their instrument, just still bring them. I have things that they can do. I have them airplay. I have them be my helper. So please still bring them if they forget their book. Please bring them if they don't bring them sick, but bring them if they forget their stuff. They need to bring their instrument, their book 1 method book that they got today. We're going to be using that for the whole year. That's pretty much the only book that we're going to be giving out. I will have a couple of printable, we learn like the Star Wars theme and the Pirates of the Caribbean theme that I print, and then we just tape in the cover. But that's pretty much what they need to remember. Violins and violas did get a shoulder rest if they didn't get one already. It's that kind of black thing. Oh, here's one. I have them floating around my music room. This thing. Most of the cases it doesn't fit in, which doesn't make any sense to me about why they would make a case, because they're going to have it. I really suggest that you get a bag, like a music. Let's see, I've also got tons of those floating around. I just have a bunch of bags that are just kind of those little tote bags to put their book and their shoulder rest in. Also, if they need like a snack or something like that for on the way home or something like that, I really recommend getting a bag. So they really need to bring their shoulder rest. I always bring a couple in my teaching bag, but please try to make sure that you have that. Just a little side note, on page 2 of their method book down at the bottom, there is a little blurb, a little section about instrument care. Please just think, no cars, no water, no siblings, no hands on the bow hair. This is the bow. This is the bow, and this is the hair. So don't touch this. Don't use this as a weapon. No sword fights with their bow. No siblings doing bows and arrows. We've done all sorts of things. If they do break something on their instrument, let me know, especially if it's one of the instruments that we've rented, which it usually is. Sabrina Millar is the instrument rental head honcho person. She's awesome. I'm so grateful to her. She's in charge of all of that. So she will, if something breaks on it, contact her and she will be able to coordinate if it needs to get fixed. Don't take it to someone else. Don't take it to a different repair person. Never use super glue on a stringed instrument. No super glue ever. So bring it to us and we will get it fixed. We are going to be teaching them how to tune, and I'm going to have a tuning video on the thing, which I'll get to in a minute. But on their instrument, they have these big pegs up here. These tighten and loosen the strings. They should not be messing with these. And only if you have someone in your family or a neighbor or someone who does stringed instruments, try not to mess with these but unless you have to. If something happens and all of their strings get totally loose or something like that in these first few weeks before I teach them what to do, please contact me and I'll help. We'll be using these little fine tune. Oh, I only have one, but they should have 4. I know a couple of the kids today didn't, and we're going to get those on, but they'll be using these little fine tuners to tune. So I know that most of you, 90% of you, are not string players, and that is totally fine. If you have questions, please contact me and I'll try to make sure that I help you. A lot of the things that they're going to be doing these first couple of weeks are teach someone in your family how to hold the bow, how to hold the instrument, because it helps reinforce that when they're trying to teach someone else how to do it. So be prepared for that and be excited. So the next thing I want to talk about is practicing and motivation. So with motivation, I do a lot of things. Like I said, I have 5 kids and I'm trying to do all their schedules and I'm doing all this other stuff too. So I understand. And so I try to do a lot of motivating things in class. We do lots of games. We do lots of fun activities. We try to play really fun music. Their method book that they have, I actually developed and wrote myself because I couldn't find anything that was fun and that had color and all the things. So, and games. So in their book, there are a lot of games that they can play at home that can be part of their practice time. I do give out small pieces of candy as motivation for practicing, for showing up. They get one for showing up, and then they get another one if they practice during the week. Sometimes if we have like a game or a competition, I'll give some out. If you, like today was like a high chew. So if you don't feel comfortable with that, please let me know. If there's allergies, I don't do anything with like peanuts or nuts. It's usually just high chews and like little tutti fruttis or something like that. We also do, they have 3 levels that they're going to pass off this year. They're color levels in their books. I don't know where one of my books is, but about every 4 weeks, they will pass off a level, things that we've taught them in class. It won't be a surprise. And they're pretty easy to pass off, but it's just to kind of help them make sure that they are staying up with the class. And they get like a ribbon, a tassel that hooks onto their case. And it's like, then they get these, they'll have like red, orange, and yellow for this first year. So it's really fun when they go through for like 3 years and they all of a sudden have like all of these tassels on there and they can be really, proud and stuff. So that's also something we're doing. I'm also going to talk about in a minute about the Google Classroom. I'm going to try doing a Google Classroom this year. I dabbled with it a little bit last year. That'll have some grading on it. So hoping that will also help with the motivation for the kids at home of making it more like a standard class. So it really helps if you treat this class like not like an optional thing, but as if they were taking a math class. They would do their math homework, or when they're learning to read in 2nd grade. I mean, it's like hammered into us as parents, right? 20 minutes a night, 20 minutes a night, and it adds up over time. They are literally learning how to read sheet music and to apply that in a specific way, just like you would read a book and make auditory sounds to read out loud. That's what they're learning how to do, is to read the staff music and translate that into actual sounds that are coming out. So the daily practice is really important. I also do practice challenges when we get around times of the year when it gets, motivation lags a little bit, like January. We do like a practice challenge that they do funny things every day to practice. And so I really try to help with that. We also we've got set up a field trip to the Utah Symphony in the spring in March, that they come to Ogden on Thursday nights. And so they have an outreach program that we've gotten tickets, and they're going to do a class with us beforehand for this violinist who's coming to play on this like $9 million instrument. He's going to come show it to him. So we've got some fun things planned as kind of some motivating things. Here is something really important that I want all parents to know. Your kid is going to want to quit at some point. I wanted to quit. My husband who plays wanted to quit. It's just, that's one of the things with this, and it's one of the wonderful things about learning a musical instrument, is it's not an instant gratification thing. It takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness. It takes grit and determination, things that they have found are really important for kids' long-term success. So when they want to quit, tough it out if you need to, talk through it, talk to me, let's find ways to kind of work through it. With that, though, I will make the caveat that I did let my oldest daughter quit violin when she was a freshman in high school. And it was a big step for me to be like, it's okay, I'm going to let her quit, because she just really wanted to do something else. And so she did, and she got into choir, and she ended up being the vocal Sterling Scholar, and everything that she learned in violin made it possible for her to succeed in other areas. So even if your child only plays for 2 or 3 years, that is going to be some amazing things that it does for their brain, and it does for them long term. So just know they aren't going to want to practice every day, no matter what we do, and that's okay. Okay, so let's see. With practicing, some tips that I have for that is add it onto something that is already a routine. That is already a routine in your daily things. Everybody's different. Some people, it works really well to hook it onto breakfast if you have an early riser. And some people, it works really well that when they come home from school, they just walk in the door, they sit down and do their homework, and then they practice before they can have screen time. That's our routine in my house. You have to do your job, your homework, and practice before you can run out the door with friends or do screens. But again, every family's different. Maybe right after dinner, they practice. Just hook it onto something that they already have and be intentional about it until it really becomes a habit. That's probably the number one thing you can do. And this week, they're going to be using new muscles to hold these instruments up. I mean, they're muscles that they haven't maybe used as much. And so for this first week, my goal for them is for them to get their instrument out once a day. That's just touch their instrument, and that they will gradually build up. They need a music stand. There are several different kinds. This is the best kind that's like a hard back, but you can get the metal ones for $8 to $10 on just Amazon or in a music store. If they're trying to look down, that they put the music like down on something, then they're going to develop really bad habits and posture, and they're going to hurt their neck and their shoulders. Putting it on a piano is better than nothing, and it's the better. Having a music stand is the best because they can stand up and then play with good posture if they're playing violin or viola. Cellists will need a good chair, just a folding chair. They should not sit on the end of a bed or something like that. A piano bench works really well for that. Okay, and then having some sort of reward for your family for consistency and practicing is also really important. Play the games with them and cheer loudly, even if it seems like a small little win. And it has a steep learning curve for learning to play a stringed instrument. So just be aware of that. Can you put in the group me a link to the stand? Be like, absolutely. Yep. I will do that. Mental note. If I don't, text me. Okay, let's talk about the Google Classroom. So I have a link. I'm going to put it on the group me. I did text out like the thing today. Everyone should be on the group me. That is going to be the main way I'm going to communicate. I'm not going to send out text messages. I'll put it on the group me. So please make sure that your notifications are on for that, so you will get that information. So with the Google Classroom, every week at the top, there will be a practice assignment that will have a Google slide. On the Google slide, let's see, how do I used to know how to, there's my share screen. I don't know how to do that. Never mind. Okay. I thought I knew how to do that. Anyway, you guys should all be, everyone's familiar with Google Classroom now, but there will be a Google slide that they just click on and it will open. And then each slide, basically they practice along with it. So the first thing will be their warm up, and then there will be a little video embedded in it that they will just click on, and it'll be me explaining what we learned in class that the day before. And so then on the next one, it'll be what song we're working on. And it'll have some instructions, and it may have a video or a sound clip of me playing it or for them to play along with. I just really want it to be something that they can go through each slide, spend 2 or 3 minutes on each slide, and then be done practicing for the day. I would like them to practice with that at least once a week. And that's something that they will turn in and get graded on. Just participation. Basically, did you do it or did you not? And so if they can practice with it on Thursday, that will reinforce what they learned on Wednesday. And then hopefully they will be able to practice that and then remember. If they get to Monday and they're like, I don't remember what we did, then have them watch it again and have them go through it again, or even just specific ones. Let's see. If you can't get the Google Classroom to work, let me know. I know that doesn't, sometimes it works. I don't know, Google Classroom, I'm still figuring out all the ins and outs of it. If you are like, I do not want my child on Google Classroom, I don't want them on a screen, I totally understand. And I can just send you the Google slide if you want, or if you're like, no, we don't want any screens, just let me know and that's fine. I'm all for helping however you need. There's also another program that we use called Ningenius. This is an online note game where they have like a little karate guy who like, hi-ya, in the note, if they get it right, they get like points, and if they don't, then they fall down. And then they progress through like levels, and they get black belts and stuff like that. My kids have really liked it. We've had it for a year. There are instructions on the GroupMe or on the Google Classroom, and I could put it in the GroupMe on how to set up an account. You have to go in and set up an account for your child on that, and then they can access that on any computer. They don't have a for the classroom version, they don't have a mobile interface. However, there are lots of other apps that do note reading that are awesome. Let's see, I think I have like 3 on my phone that I just kind of look at. Note Rush. Ooh, let's see if we can get this to work. Oh, it's gonna think it's too bright. Sorry. Well, Note Rush, it's got a blue note with like lines next to it. Note Rush is a really good one because you can set up the parameters of what notes they practice. And that one, it has your microphone with the mobile. And so they play along and it tells them, oh, you played the right note. So I like that one too for practice. So again, if you have a reluctant practicer and they like using apps and things, then those are great. Yeah, if they can even do that 10-15 minutes a week with a note reading thing, like I said, they are learning new symbols. They are learning how, just like reading, they're learning how to read. So doing that practice every day is really important, especially in this first year. Okay, the last thing is that we will have our concert in December. It is scheduled for December 12th. It's 7:30 at the high school. And they will play, and then like all of the groups play at that concert, although we try to keep it under an hour. So they play like a 2-minute song. They play like Jingle Bells and like one other song that they pick. So just put that on your calendar now, December 12th. And that is kind of a required thing for them to be there, because it is such an awesome motivator for them. I've had kids who are like in November, they're like, I'm going to quit. And I'm like, okay, just make it to the concert. And then they play in the concert and they're like, that was amazing. I'm so excited to practice. And then they play Jingle Bells the rest of their lives. So, and they get to hear the other groups. They get to hear the other groups and how they are progressing and like what they can get to in just a couple years. So that's super important. Let's see. That's all I have in my list of things to go over real fast. Are there any other questions or things you're concerned about or excited about or questions? Just unmute and ask, or you can put it in the chat. I'm really excited to be teaching your kids. They're super nice and super fun. Okay, last chance. Okay, awesome. Well, if I didn't cover something or you have a specific question or concern, feel free to reach out to me. Like I said, this is really fun. I love it. So also, you can still join the parent class, the adult beginner class that they have a lot of fun of. So that meets on Thursday nights. So I just have to put that plug in there. If you have an instrument, you might as well learn. So anyway, okay, thank you guys so much for coming. And yeah, we'll see your cute kiddos next Wednesday. Thanks.